We recently collected drones for the guys, they reached them, and the guys recorded a video with gratitude. We, the soldiers of the 488 Regiment, express our gratitude to Dmitry Detyarov and the subscribers of the General Staff YouTube channel for the invaluable humanitarian assistance that you provided us, in the form of Mavic 3 Pro drones in the amount of 3 pieces and the Starlink satellite communication system. Your support is not just a burden, but a ray of hope in our fight against the enemy. Your help gives us the strength to move forward. Victory will be ours. And I also want to thank everyone who helped, participated, because drones are the eyes in the sky. They will save a lot of lives for the guys. Well, the fighting continues, and we continue to study the situation at the front with you. Open the map. So, friends, the Azov people continue to retreat, and we continue to put pressure on them in the Dobropolsky direction. Yes, there are some big breakthroughs, but over the past day, we have taken one village under full control and advanced 1 kilometer. That is, they drank the Azov people from this village and threw them to this very kilometer. I will tell you about this in more detail today, but we will start with the Sumy region. There hasn't been any news from there for a long time, right? And over the past day, we have recorded progress at 2 sites at once. The first and perhaps the most important success we had was in Unikovka, a long-suffering village, for which fighting has been going on for several months. Slowly, we are moving there, putting the squeeze on, and over the past day, we have advanced within the village. That is, within the residential development, by 1.5 kilometers, and reached the southern outskirts of the village. That is, we were here, and now our positions are here, on the southern outskirts. As you can see from the map, most of the village is under our control. Yes, not even a large, but the vast majority of the village is under our control. The APU now retains its presence only here from the south and here on the eastern part. Given the general configuration of the front, I think we will soon put the squeeze on the village. And, by the way, this will affect the entire Sumy front in general, since Unikovka, due to its size, chooses a lot of forces and a lot of resources. And when it goes, these forces and resources will go further. They will not go by themselves at a much greater pace than we are currently moving forward in the village itself. But due to the simple fact that there is a residential development here, there is not. But not only in Unikovka, there was a promotion. We also managed to advance in the forest plantation southeast of Voroshin, and, by the way, Voroshin is under our control, although Ukrainian resources claim the opposite. So, over the past day, we managed to advance 800 meters, cleaning out all this greenery. And by the way, I just posted footage on the Telegram channel of the armed forces of Ukraine fleeing from here, dragging a wounded man with them, and footage from their side. As they were discovered, they did not have time to escape. As a result, our people zeroed them. Follow the link in the description to my Telegram channel, and you will see everything for yourself. So, here we have occupied such a large and dense green area, which will allow us to accumulate strength here to move on. In total, over the past day, we have advanced 4 square kilometers in the Sumy region. And how far have the APU advanced, and not how much? By the way, they noticed that they no longer have news from the Sumy region. And although Zelensky said the day before yesterday that in a couple of months, the APU will completely knock us out of the Sumy region, this has nothing to do with reality. They are not moving here now, but we are moving forward. Yes, even if not quickly and not often, but the dynamics have improved compared to the same July. But we have even better dynamics in the Konstantinovsky direction. There's a lot of trouble there at all. Let's go there, but before that, look, the guys from the front are asking for help. We are soldiers of the 2nd Battalion of the 71st Guards Motorized Rifle Regiment. We asked Dmitry Detyarov and subscribers of the YouTube channel General Staff for assistance in purchasing 2 Mavic Classic drones. Drones are primarily eyes in the sky, and eyes in the sky will help us reduce losses among personnel. Currently, the 71st Rifle Regiment is conducting active offensive defensive actions in the Zaporozhye region, with the superior forces of the armed forces of Ukraine and Nazi gangs. And therefore the platoon of unmanned aerial vehicles of the 2nd Battalion of the 71st Guards Motorized Rifle Regiment is in dire need of reconnaissance and food delivery by air, with the help of unmanned aerial vehicles Mike 3 Classic. Thank you for your support. Victory will be ours, together we are a force. So friends, drones are extremely necessary for the guys, because they are eyes in the sky, because it is impossible without them. Because without them, the guys bear much more losses, as the guys say there 3-4 times. Therefore, they have such a request, they turn to us, we need to help. The amount of the collection is 600,000 rubles. We have more than 250,000 on the balance sheet. So join us. But at the top there is a line with the details, a phone number, a transfer of software from any bank without commission. But do not pass by, because well, the guys really hope for us very much. Well, let's go back to the review of the situation at the front. Open the map. So, now let's move on to the Konstantinovsky site. There have been 2 important advances over the past day. Firstly, it was possible to completely dislodge the Afu garrison from Kotarinovka. The village, as you can see on the map, is under our complete control. But you need to understand one simple thing, that this is not just a village, you know there is another one. It is a powerful fortified area. There are generally 2 fortifications on this whole site, from the south in front of the reservoir. This is Kotarinovka and Kleben Bull. But one is now in the negative. Only Kleben the Bull remains for the armed forces of Ukraine so far. And although this fortification is essentially blocked, as you can see, all the roads are either cut or shot through. But the APU has established supply through the reservoir. Well, that is, from the opposite shore, ammunition and provisions are brought up by boats, they try to somehow rotate there, and so on. Our drone cheeky take out boats, but some still happen to slip through. While this is the situation, our troops have not yet started a direct assault on the Kleben Bull. But taking into account the fall of the neighboring Kotarinovka, they will definitely begin in the near future. Also, over the past day, it was possible to capture another powerful fortification and a strong point of the Afu, in the form of a mine. Right here. You see, like any mine with capital structures, it has been converted into a powerful defensive node designed to deter our troops. For a while, I really held back, that is, I couldn't somehow approach, bypass, and so on. But, as with any fortification of the APU, the end has come. Now this defensive node is ours, now it will deter the APU from any attempts to counterattack. Plus, we also managed to expand the control zone in the pocket between Alexander Shulton and Predtekin. We dismantled this site with you yesterday. So, if you remember from the release, I showed you on the maps that a day ago, we advanced 1 kilometer here, and now, you see, we have expanded the control zone here to the south, and not by 1 kilometer, but by 2 kilometers. Well, we go on to the Dobropolsky site, where the Azov residents are completely discouraged, since they have no results. But we, on the contrary, have been moving 4 days in a row. Over the past day, it was possible to clean up Vladimirovka. I told you a day ago that it would be so. Here they had several streets under control, well, actually, they were knocked out of there. The village of Vladimirovka is now under our complete control. Plus, we managed to advance from the village itself by 900 meters and reach the outskirts of Shakov. To the last street of the village from our current positions about 300 meters. Well, I have already told you what is important about Shakova. First of all, taking it will thicken the line of our breakthrough, which means it will protect from strong contour blows. That is, so far it is well, quite thin. And imagine, now we take Shakov. Well, now the width turns out to be like this. Accordingly, counterattack and even more cut, but it will already be some kind of fantasy. Secondly, the control over Shakov will significantly simplify logistics for providing our fighters to the north, that is, in the area of the same Golden Well. At the same time, you also need to understand that taking the village will not be an easy walk, since it is well fortified. And there are several lines of defense built around it with the same dragon teeth. I just saw footage from there, the defensive lines are impressive. And the more valuable the village is. In general, we observe. But already now we can say for sure that the Azov people have shat themselves, they were thrown here as an elite, in the hope that they would cut off the entire ledge, right off the wheels, and push us back to the starting lines. All they could do was take a little edge off. And then not for long. Let's move on. Let's open the American map with you. Our progress in the south of the Donetsk region is more clearly displayed there. Here we have advanced in the area of the Yalta Star, or rather from the star, we have advanced more than 2 kilometers to the north and reached the river. The goal here is to force the river and start putting pressure on Filia. From the current positions, the village is only 2 kilometers away. Well, you need to understand that Filia is also not another village, it is already the closest approach to Novopavlovka. Plus, we also had a promotion in the Zaporozhye region, in the Timirevka area. But here there is such a situation that this is not an acquisition, but rather a return. Because we already controlled the grouping, and then during the counterattack, the APU was forced out of there. Well, we went there again. So far, we control only a part of the village. The overall result, if we sum up the past days, then 2 villages, and a little more than 15 square kilometers, came under our control. Well, a stable average result of the summer military campaign. Well, for today, I have everything on the situation at the front. Don't forget about the guys who are asking us to help with the purchase of 2 thrones. Here is a line with the details at the top. Well, I'm saying goodbye to you today. I wish you a good weekend and see you tomorrow.